And now, homies, ladies and gents, some musical beats as an homage, as a tribute to 50 Cent, Curtis Jackson. Yeah, here goes nothing, as they say, right? Stay tuned.
I don't know what you heard about me, but which kind of dollar out of me? No Cadillac, no P.I.M.P, you can see that I'm a motherfucker P.I.M.P. I don't know what you heard about me, but which kind of dollar out of me? No Cadillac, no P.I.M.P, you can see that I'm a mother P.I.M.P.
And now the acapella version from my homie 50 Cent, Curtis Jackson.
I don't know what you heard about me, but which kind of dollar out of me? No Cadillacs, no P.I.M.P, you can see that I'm a mother P.I.M.P. I don't know what you heard about me, but which kind of dollar out of me? No Cadillac, no P.I.M.P, you can see that I'm a mother P.I.M.P.
People like those kind of stories about the thug life. And it's a very good film presenting the life in the inner city, in the hood. Respect, R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Yeah. If somebody drops a soap in the bathroom in prison, you better get out, or you better have the same solution as Frank Drebin did in The Naked Gun 33 1/3. Remember, do the right thing always in life, and that's what he did.
Come on, what? Always do the right thing.
And I always keep my word. You can take it to the bank, the blood bank.
I'm gonna take you to the bank, Senator Trent. To the blood bank.
She used to say that rapid fire from a submachine gun is like a box of chocolate. You never know how many bullets you're gonna get, yeah.
Always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
The difference is very hearable, it's noticeable, right? Dum 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 and dum 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 dum. Ain't no plagiarism. That was
ding 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 diggy ding 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 diggy ding ding. That little bitty change.
been spending most our lives living in the gangster's paradise. Been spending most our lives living in the gangster's paradise. Tum 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 tum. Yo yo yo, what's up, homies, ladies and gents? Today I am a substitute for the usual host, which is Blast in the Past, because my homie asked me to be here to present something special for you. Something coming from my buddy, a friend of mine, 50 Cent, Curtis Jackson, and this is a retelling of his life, a real life story based on his numerous experiences, and I really think that it is tight, it is cool, and you gotta give it a go if you appreciate the dog. So without further ado, let's make it short, sweet and simple, just like the ladies love it, right? So ladies and gents, let's cut to the chase and let's get ready for quite a ride with the one, the only, the legendary 50 Cent Curtis Jackson. Yeah, here goes nothing, peace out.
Show no love, love will get you killed.
And here is a short synopsis of the plot, featured on the IMDb website, and here it goes. A tale of an inner city drug dealer who turns away from a life of crime to pursue his passion for rap music. And this is what saves him, rap music and passion for this, and working on the lyrics while pushing drugs, unfortunately, but this is only temporary because he needs to raise funds to finance his other honest activities. So it's only the beginning, but then he finds the right way, the right path in his life, which is always good, but he never forgets about his mistakes from the past. So he never tries to hide anything, that his life was dirty, but now he is clean. A very good example. Aight? What can I say about the film itself? Well, it's about a very tough upbringing growing up in the hood. You can imagine that it ain't no piece of cake, right? And the police, the cops, 5-0, they are everywhere and people just want to bring the bacon home, as they say. And the only thing possible is turning to crime in this or other way, yeah. and there are very few opportunities in the inner city, like it is the case in here, in the field. And those were the conditions in which 50 Cent Curtis Jackson had to grow up in, and he quickly became an adult. He had to take care of his own. When his mother passed away, he was taken care of by his grandparents, but he was into music, but nobody appreciated it. And he needed to make some dough, so he got into drugs and some other criminal activities. He got busted by the police, and then he ended up with a sentence.
Grandpa, and I'm proud of it. You son of a...
But he was an OG gangster, true criminal, but then he found passion. He found music, he wanted to make business out of it. But he needed the money, he needed the dough, so that's why drugs and everything. But then he found the right path in his life, and music, we could say that it saved him. So this is a story typical of other films from this genre, from this kind, like we could say Boys in the Hood, Menace to Society, Straight Outta Compton, the new one. This is in the same vein, but this is good because it shows you that no matter how tough life could be and how much it brings you down, you need to stand up on your feet and move up and overcome all the obstacles if you want to achieve the goal and get out of poverty. As they say, you can get a man out of poverty, but you can never take poverty out of man. And in this life, in this kind of a thug life, respect is everything. R-E-S-P-E-C-T, respect. Remember, when you have it, then you will always be good. And if you are tight with your homies, then they will always have your back.
Message!
And those are the life stories from this film, that you may be resurrected if you find the right path or you find God and you know what you want to achieve and you strive for it and you fight very hard, then you will get out of it. And this is a very good life lesson. And that's why this film is worth watching, for the criminal vibe, for that part about growing up in a very difficult conditions, in the hood, with the homies, turning to crime, but then getting out of it, coming off clean, and going on the right path finally. So this is a very uplifting story. So I think that some people have been there, they know what I'm talking about. So this is a very good story, very engrossing and captivating. So come on, homies, ladies and gents, give it a go if you have not seen it. Get rich or die trying. Yeah.
Message!
And you know, when Mr. Curtis Jackson, 50 Cent, my homie, he was a rising star back in the 2000s, well, he was respected. His rise to fame was very quick, very rapid, and no wonder that many people wanted to work with him, because he was the golden boy of the music industry. He was like King Midas. Whatever he touched, it turned into gold. And no wonder that Jim Sheridan, a very famous director, wanted to work with him. Curtis Jackson asked him to make the film, and they did it. They collaborated together on Get Rich or Die Tryin. And about the director Jim Sheridan, before in 1988 he directed My Left Foot with Daniel Day-Lewis, then in 1993 In the Name of the Father, a prison film about Ireland, also with Daniel Day-Lewis, then again The Third Time is the Charm, apparently. Because it was in 1997 when they cooperated yet again on the set of The Boxer, a very good drama. And this one, it was released in 2005, Get Rich or Die Trying. Many people thought that my homie 50 Cent did not deserve to work with Jim Sheridan, but he proved them wrong, because his acting was pretty decent and the director helped 50 Cent to get the best out of him in terms of his acting. And the story, it's a very interesting drama, we could say by the book, maybe, if you consider the genre, but these are mostly true events inspired by the true story of 50 Cent, Curtis Jackson. So what more do you expect? Yes, it takes place in the inner city, in the hood, where there is a lot of poverty, crime, dysfunctional families, and the only way to get out of it is either to have a boring, low-paid menial job and never leave the place, or turn to crime, unfortunately. That's what 50 Cent did, but he's not ashamed of it, because it taught him a very valuable lesson, that money may not be everything, but respect towards yourself, towards everybody else is. And the rapport with the guys from the hood and respect your family and your guardians and people around you. And then you will go a long way. It will take you a long way. So there is a life lesson in that to be learned, that's for sure.
Basement, I can't even stand up straight.
You end up just like your
So I am not surprised that Mr. Jim Sheridan, he took the gig and he did a very good job because the film is well directed, the sequences, the camera movement, it is there, it makes the story even more interesting. So if not for 50 Cent alone, if not for the genre, for the type of the film, the story, then you could watch it only for Jim Sheridan and his work behind the camera alone. That's a very good merit of this otherwise still very interesting film. Yeah. Well, a couple of words about the critical reception of the film, because this is very interesting. Some people loved this film about my homie 50 Cent, because on FilmWeb it has the average rating of 7.1 out of 10, which is very high, extremely high. Also on Rotten Tomatoes. From the critics, it has only 13% because they didn't know any better. But from the audience, around 70%, which is good and proves once again that people like those kind of stories about the thug life, about making it out of poverty on your own merit. And on IMDb website, it's only 5.6 out of 10. Unfortunately, they didn't show no love to 50 Cent for some reason, but in the comment section the users do defend it, that they say that it's not that bad, it's even good, more than passable, so give it a chance. That's what they write, and straight from the heart, right? But in terms of the financial reception, it was not good, because the budget was $40 million and it was a co-production. Also MTV took part in promoting their own artist, but it grossed worldwide only $46 million, which is not good. So clearly it was a flop, unfortunately, and that's why this film is a little bit forgotten. Nobody or very few people know about it. And it's a very good film presenting the life in the inner city, in the hood. Although it may not be the best in its genre, it's still a worthy recommendation. If you ever lack a film of this sort, of this kind from this genre, give this one a go, because it's an undiscovered, maybe not a gem, a pearl, but definitely a motion picture worth seeing. It's a good flick, it's very tight, right? So do not hesitate anymore, give it a chance, right? Promise me that, because a promise is your bond, you know what they say? So if you make a promise, you better keep it, right? I will keep you accountable for that, and so will Mr. Curtis Jackson 50 Cent. You better obey, right? But it's worth giving it a go, that's for sure. Yo, I ain't over yet, it ain't over yet. I have still a couple of things to tell you about this film, Get Rich or Die Tryin', because there are some pieces of trivia. And here goes the first one. Listen, you all, and be all ears. Here it goes that according to this piece of trivia, there was an acting coach, a woman, for 50 Cent to teach him acting or help him in his role. But Jim Sheridan, the director, had the woman removed from the set because he said that if this film fails, it's not because of your performance, it's because I couldn't direct you well. And this is interesting, that he trusted in himself and 50 Cent, that he could direct him, his performance, and Curtis Jackson did quite okay. Sometimes maybe the emotions are a little bit exaggerated, but he ain't no natural, that's for sure. But he had some talent, and it was his pet project, his passion project about his own life, yeah. His life in the hood, in the inner city, growing up in very difficult conditions. So that's why he was probably more passionate than anybody else from the cast, and he did quite okay, considering that it was his real first performance. So props to Jim Sheridan for having a lot of faith and confidence both in himself as the director of the film and also 50 Cent as the main performer. Yeah, that's what I call real respect, R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Yeah.
If you had it in the time you were likely to spend in prison, it was less than minimum wage.
And another piece of trivia, actually it was Bono who introduced Jim Sheridan to 50 Cent, because Jim Sheridan had expressed a desire to work with 50 Cent. Maybe he might have heard about the project, about his life story, and since he liked dramas and he thought that it was the right vibe, he decided to jump on that ship together. So actually it was Bono from U2, that's interesting. Sometimes life and Lord work in mysterious ways, don't they? So remember, in God and in money and in dollar, in the Benjamins we trust, right?
In front of the Bentley like this.
It's all about the Benjamin.
And yet another piece of trivia, and it's about Terrence Howard, because he stars in this film also, a very well-known actor from the first Iron Man. After that he was kicked out because he demanded more money from the producers, and they replaced him with Don Cheadle. But here it goes, that actually it was 50 Cent who talked Terrence Howard into filming a nude scene. Because in the film there is a scene in which there is a prison fight in the shower room, and they are all naked and with their Johnsons hanging out, and it reminds me of Maximum Risk with Van Damme. But they were fighting in a sauna, but they had the towels, but in here it's all nude, it's full frontal to the camera, it's very realistic. And of course I won't show it to you because I would get demonetized or banned even from YouTube, but you can imagine that it's full frontal, everything is there, very raw, very realistic, so maybe that was a good call if you are not too sensitive, because you know, life in prison, it ain't no walk in the park, that's for sure. And this scene shows it very well, that if somebody drops a soap in the bathroom in prison, you better get out, or you better have the same solution as Frank Drebin did in The Naked Gun 33 1/3, if you remember, the steel pants. Either this or you get the heck out of there. You better mark my words. If anything, that's one of the life lessons you should learn from this film. And also 50 Cent, Curtis Jackson, he seems like a very down-to-earth fella. Because in one of the scenes, he started throwing money into the crowd, onto the people, onto the onlookers. And this caused a lot of commotion, so they couldn't continue with the scene. But later on, 50 Cent, being a tight dude, a cool cat, he went to Jim Sheridan and all the cast and he apologized for his silly behavior. So he did the right thing. And you have to remember, do the right thing always in life, and that's what he did. He made a mistake, yeah, but he did apologize, so he is a cool cat, you see? This is yet another example that he can amend the wrong, and he is no fool, no ignorant, right?
Come on, what?
Always do the right thing.
And regarding the cast, so actually Samuel L. Jackson was offered a role, but he declined, because in his opinion, 50 Cent didn't earn the right to work with Jim Sheridan, such a well-known director. And it was Jim Sheridan who was stooping down to 50 Cent's level, because he was a newbie in the movie business. I could understand this point of view, but later on this is funny that apparently 50 Cent did earn respect from Mr. Samuel L. Jackson, because they did star together in Home of the Brave from 2006. So 1 year later, I don't know, maybe it turned out that Get Rich or Die Tryin was up Samuel L. Jackson's alley, and actually he liked it, and then he started appreciating 50 Cent also as an actor. It could be, but at first he didn't want to participate in Get Rich or Die Tryin to help his homie 50 Cent in raising to fame and famedom. Oh, that's interesting. But Samuel L. Jackson also a very good actor, and you can never keep a good dog down, aight? And the last piece of trivia for me would be about Terence Winter. The screenwriter of the film, he was not happy with the outcome, with the end product, because he claims that it is something different than he wrote. That the script that ended up on the screen is completely different or somewhat different. So he ain't satisfied with the outcome, with the result, unfortunately, but the film is still very decent. Maybe not a big budget production, maybe it could have been better, but still, for what it is, and the first foray of 50 Cent into the world of cinema, for real, it was a good attempt. You have to give him props and kudos to 50 Cent, to Jim Sheridan, of course, and even Terence Winter, the writer. He may not be happy with the end product, but it's quite okay. It is very tight. So thanks very much for having written that film, yeah.
Boss Marcus?
Yeah,
So what do you do?
I'm a gangster.
And now, homies, ladies and gents, some musical beats as an homage, as a tribute to 50 Cent, Curtis Jackson, yeah, here goes nothing, as they say, right? Stay tuned.
I don't know what you heard about me, but a witch can a dollar out of me. No Cadillac, no P.I.M.P, you can see that I'm a motherfucker P.I.M.P. I don't know what you heard about me, woo! But which kind of dollar out of me? No Cadillac, no P.I.M.P, you can see that I'm a mother P.I.M.P.
And now the a cappella version from my homie 50 Cent, Curtis Jackson. Yeah, here it goes. Stay tuned, peace and love.
I don't know what you heard about me, woo! But which kind of dollar out of me? No Cadillacs, no P.I.M.P, you can see that I'm a mother P.I.M.P. I don't know what you heard about me, woo! But which kind of dollar out of me? No Cadillac, no P.I.M.P, you can see that I'm a mother P.I.M.P.
And I don't know about you, but I love me some technical details about the releases. And this one, it has been released on the DVD format. I'm not sure about the other ones, but here is the front cover. You can see 50 Cent resurrected. There is his baby. He's holding the baby. Very good, very symbolic, right? Ain't it? Then the spine, the back cover. Yeah, the layout is good. It shows you that it's about a tough life in the inner city, growing up in the hood with the homies and doing your best despite the difficulties, the hardships of life, right? And maybe you can see on the screen that the quality is pretty good, pretty decent for the DVD format, which is very obsolete, which is very dated right now. The audio quality is fine as well. Many language options also for you dogs who do learn other languages. So of course there is English, but there is Polish and the Czech one, I think. No Spanish, no love, unfortunately.
Disc the size of a CD. The picture is twice as sharp as VHS.
For the Spanish-speaking countries, no love for Germany either. Unfortunately, there is no German track. But it is what it is. You take it or leave it, and it's a very good addition to your collection, and it's dirt cheap. So hesitate no more, add it, please. If not for the film alone, do it for the OG dog 50 Cent, right? Thanks, it has my seal of approval. A very decent DVD release with some extras on top of that to sweeten the deal, like the ladies love it, right? Yeah.
Da draußen rum und verdienst das Geld für mich, ja? Sie sind echt ein Gott für mich. So, ich bin...
And also this film depicts a very important life of 50 Cent, because allegedly at some point he was shot several times on the street. And that's why he has this characteristic voice, and this part of his life is represented in the film. He is recuperating after that shootout when he was assaulted, attacked, and he was wounded heavily. He barely made it, but he did, because he was under protection of God, probably, and it's thanks to him that he pulled out of that assault, and then he recovered. His voice sounded different, but it was good because it was much deeper and it was something original, and it is thanks to that, according to this film, that he has this characteristic voice, now recognized everywhere. So this is something interesting and another fact from his life. Some people say that it is an alleged fact, maybe it never happened this way, but I'm not the one to judge.
I knew I was about to.
You should take this information straight from the horse's mouth if you want the truth, or rather should I say the dog's mouth, the OG dog 50 Cent. I never had a chance to ask him, so I don't know, I cannot vouch for this story, but it is interesting, right? Several gunshot wounds, and he made it alive and singing and coming back to his career and normal life, yeah. What an uplifting example, yeah? Good. No matter how bad life is, you can always pull out of it, of all the predicaments. That is a life lesson to be learned from this one.
While I was expecting my father to rescue me, I realized I've been looking for him all my life.
And 50 Cent himself, he has grown as an actor, because that was his very humble beginning. Get Rich or Die Tryin, but then he had many other projects, even The Righteous Kill with Al Pacino and Robert De Niro, which was the second meeting of those stars after the hit. The film was not very good, but it is what it is. There was Gun with him, somehow average film. There was something with Val Kilmer, he liked starring with him, I think, because they cooperated on several occasions. I do remember that in 2011 50 Cent had his film All Things Fall Apart, for which he lost a lot of pounds and he was very slim, maybe fighting cancer in the film, I don't remember, but it got critically panned, I think. It was overlooked. maybe it is worth watching, because that was like a method acting thing, wasn't it? Losing weight like Christian Bale for his roles, but I can't say anything. The film has a very average rating, so maybe that was his wasted effort on that, unfortunately. But he also starred in The Escape Plan, 3 parts. The first one with Schwarzenegger and Stallone, a very good film. Then there was also Southpaw, about boxing. There was Den of Thieves with Gerald Butler in 2018, a pretty good film. There was a sequel, and 50 Cent's career is a mixed bag. A lot of schlock straight-to-DVD films, but also some good ones. So it's a mixed bag, a little bit like Samuel L. Jackson, but of course I'm not comparing those two, because Samuel L. Jackson, you know, he's a legend. 50 Cent, a legend of rap maybe, but in terms of acting, he is trying to find his way, but at least he is trying, he's doing his best, participating in many projects, so we shall see. But if I ever have a chance to see All Things Fall Apart, I will, because it sounds interesting, and if for nothing else then for 50 Cent's devotion to the role, it is worth watching.
It's just another challenge and you will be fine, I promise you.
Losing so many pounds of muscles, tissue, looking like a cancer survivor, wow, this is incredible, such a devotion to the role. So if for nothing else than for this fact alone, it might be worth watching, and I won't hesitate from posting a review if I have a chance to watch. You can count on it, right? Because respect and promises are everything, and I always keep my word. You can take it to the bank, the blood bank.
He's been home for 2 weeks. He's just been sitting on his ass. You can't stand on your own 2 feet, man. You never have.
And right now on the screen you have that film Gun I've been talking about. It was released in 2010. Here you have the cover, right? Oh, see, 50 Cent looking tough. And it's about, again, the life of crime, life in the hood, some drugs, some illegal stuff. It's an action film, but it doesn't have the best ratings, because on IMDb 3.8 out of 10, albeit people say it's not that bad. On Filmware 5.1 out of 10, Rotten Tomatoes 25% from the audience, nothing from the critics, because it was a low-budget affair, $10 million, no information about the gross, maybe it was a straight-to-DVD release. Yeah, it looks like this, but maybe it is worth something for the fans of 50 Cent Curtis Jackson, looking tough with 2 guns in a bulletproof vest. So maybe it is worth something. I cannot vouch for it, but if I ever have a chance and time to watch it, I will give it a go. But at least the cover is nice of this DVD release, and so is the quality on the screen. So these are the saving graces, right? Some merits to think about. So it's always good to have it. 50 Cent, show him some love and show me some
made these in automatic.
love, and the channel blast in the past, right? Stay safe, stay calm, stay tight. And just one piece of trivia about 50 Cent, Curtis Jackson, that if I'm not mistaken, he has filed for bankruptcy twice. So allegedly things are not that good, but there are many speculations about that, whether, you know, it was legitimate or not. I'm not the one to judge, because people have some things, there is creative accounting, I don't know. But he's a good dog, so maybe it really happened, maybe it didn't. But this is an interesting thing that, if I'm not mistaken, I don't have this information straight from the horse's mouth, but he has filed for bankruptcy twice, not once. So apparently things are going a little bit awry, but again, even if you are on your knees, just like in Get Rich or Die Tryin, you can always stand up. But I do remember that at the time of the release of the film, one reviewer said that the title of the film is Get Rich or Die Tryin, and Get Rich went home. So maybe filing for bankruptcy twice, I don't know, but there's always a chance to stand up, to be resurrected, just like in this film. You see, there is a baby, a new beginning, being born again and starting afresh anew. So this is a life lesson to be had from this film and from 50 Cent's life, yeah? That you can always do the right thing. Remember about that.
You want to do it on your own terms.
And homies, ladies and gents, I will show you some love, because in case you haven't noticed, this is the OG Tupac, the legend of rapping, and he also was an actor, and he had many good films, like for example Gang Related with James Belushi at the time, I don't remember, but it was a very good film, a very good cop drama about 2 dirty cops. So it was a bad cop and a worse cop, no good cop in this couple, that's for sure. There was also Juice and Above the Rim, and Gridlocked with Tim Roth, also a very good drama. So he was a renowned actor, but sadly he was killed, unfortunately, and his career was cut short. But Tupac, a real legend, that's for sure, and a pretty decent actor. Check out his films if you ever have a chance, especially gang related, because this film is veritably good. I can vouch for that because I've seen it many times. So I do hope that you do not need any more recommendation. Yeah, hopefully. And also right now on the screen you have this film Gang Related with Tupac Shakur. The film was released in 1997 and it stars Tupac and James Belushi. And it's a cop drama thriller with some action about the dirty world of cops. It's a DVD release. You can see that here is the front cover, very climatic, right? You can get into that vibe, into the atmosphere, the spine, the back cover, right? The DVD quality is quite okay. But the quality is not why you would watch this film. You would watch it for the gritty, brutal violence. A very realistic depiction of two dirty cops, one worse than the other. So there is no good cop, bad cop routine. No, there is a bad cop and a worse cop, that's for sure. And both performances are fantastic. Actually, if I were to pick, I think that James Belushi is a bit of a douchebag than Tupac's character, that's for sure. But it works perfectly, and give this one a go. It's an underappreciated
James Belushi.
Could be gang related.
Gang related.
And on IMDb it has the average rating of 6.4 out of 10, on FilmWeb 7.1 out of 10, on the Rotten Tomatoes website from the critics around 52%, from the audience 64%, so it's a worthy recommendation, and one of the last films with Tupac Shakur, a very good dynamic duo, and again, trust me that the end of the story, the great film, it will keep you nailed to your seats, that's for sure. So if there is a happy ending, can there be a happy ending in the world of, especially with two dirty cops 5-0? Well, I leave it for you to check out on your own. Remember, Gang Related, a very good, underappreciated film. I've seen it many times and I will definitely come back to it. So I hope that it is a worthy recommendation. Peace out. Give the film some love.
This is who you picked. Why'd you get the Pope and pin the murder on him? This was not
Yo, ladies and gents, and talking about films, there is a good position from a good cat, Sacha Baron Cohen, and this is Ali G in the house, released in 2002. They say it's a comedy. It ain't no comedy. It's a documentary. It documents the life in the hood, how it is growing up in the rap culture, having no dough, doing your best to stay afloat, to stay on top, avoiding the police 5-0. This is the real life, this is the thug life. Like I say, it ain't no comedy, it ain't a joke, it's the real life, the reality. It's a documentary, it's like the chronicles of our life in the hood, regardless of the color of the skin. It's always hard, struggling, scraping, doing your best. So this is it, trust me, Ali G in the house. This is a very good film, it's very tight. And Sacha Baron Cohen, Ali G, deserves our respect, because respect, R-E-S-P, whatever, respect is everything, as he says in this film, Ali G in the house. Peace out, ladies and gents.
Respect. How's anyone out there meant to respect?
And about the life in the hood, in the inner city, like me mama used to say, God rest her soul. I mean, she ain't dead. She ain't dead, she just gone, and she had enough of it. She was fed up with everything, so she left. But like me mama used to say back in the day, rapid fire from a submachine gun is like a box of chocolate. You never know how many bullets you're gonna get, yeah. And 50 Cent got 9, and he still lived. So avoid the bullets, be a dodger, dodge the bullets, and you will live longer. That's a good life lesson too, yeah. Stay cool and stay calm, and nobody gets hurt, right?
Always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
And about the world of music, this business, it is normal to look for inspiration. And you remember our cool cat Vanilla Ice back in the 1980s, in the 1990s, when he was on top of the game with his hit Ice Ice Baby. He explained it very well why it wasn't plagiarism, because you had Queen's song Under Pressure, which goes a little bit like this. Dum 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 dum. Dum 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 dum. The pressure. Yeah, and Vanilla Ice in one of the interviews he explained very well that it's not like this, but the tune is a little bit different, so it goes dum 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 dum, and this is a clear difference, right? So Vanilla Ice, he explained it very well when they asked him about the difference, so it ain't no plagiarism, that's for sure. The difference is very hearable, it's noticeable, right? Dum 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 and dum 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 dum. Ain't no plagiarism, that's for sure. They wanted to keep a good dog down, the white boy Vanilla Ice, but he never let them. He always stood up to himself and he won, right? So Vanilla Ice, one of the OG white rappers, especially big in the 1990s. Respect, dude, because respect is everything. R-E-S-P and whatever, right? Respect.
It's not the same. Ours goes ding 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 diggy ding ding. Theirs goes.
And you remember this film, guys? From 1995, Dangerous Minds, about the school life in the inner city, the underprivileged kids doing their best and trying to learn something. Also, and there's Michelle Pfeiffer's character, an ex-marine who goes there and teaches them very important lessons in life also, and showing them the right path. You remember that? And there was a classic song by Coolio, Gangsta's Paradise, which goes a little bit like this. Been spending most our lives living in the gangsta's paradise. Been spending most our lives living in the gangsta's paradise. Such an iconic song, and what is funny is that Stevie Wonder got 95% of the royalties, you know? He got a very cool deal, because Coolio himself had two options, because he had used the sample of one of Stevie Wonder's songs, so either he agreed to that loan shark deal, 95% to be taken from all the royalties, all the profits by Stevie Wonder, or the song would not be released. So of course he took the former, not the latter, and it was a big hit, but Coolio so far hasn't made as much money on that as he could have, right? And Stevie Wonder, whenever the song is aired, whenever the film is played, on the telly, whatever, he gets 95% from that track, from the royalties. Well, that's a sweet deal, ain't it? Yeah, Stevie Wonder, he's a good businessman, he's a good cat, and so is Coolio. And this song, yeah, it complements the film very well. And also, if you have a chance to watch Dangerous Minds from 1995, please go ahead and do it. Because not only is the song great and fantastic, but also the film itself. It depicts the life in the inner city, in the burbs of the minorities, struggling with education, with daily life. So this is something remarkable. I wish there were more films like that, yeah. So respect to Michelle Pfeiffer, because R-E-S-P, whatever, probably, you know, my education was not very good, but it doesn't matter. What does matter is that Dangerous Minds, another good film, comes very highly recommended, yeah. And one more thing about that film, gang related, with James Belushi and Tupac Shakur, God rest his soul, the master of rap, because the soundtrack for mostly it's based on synthesizer. It ain't my cup of tea, but it's very catchy. It is an earworm, right? Albeit my taste in music is a little bit different. It ain't my cup of tea, yeah, or my cup of booze, I could say. But still, regardless, it is very good. It's very catchy. It reminds me of that film with Eddie Murphy, the whole franchise. It was the Beverly Hills Cop. You remember the main tune? Tum 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 tum. Yeah, it's a very cool tune, ain't it? And something similar is there in Gang Related from 1997, so it already adds a nice vibe to the otherwise still good film. Like I say, ain't my cup of tea, my cup of booze, but still I'll take it any time of the day because it's so catchy. Maybe it ain't no rap, that's for sure, but it still holds its own as a music genre, so this is great and the film is fantastic too. So hesitate no more, trust my recommendation, right? Respect me, because also respect is everything. And I know I respect you and your time, so I would never recommend you something ain't worth your while, right? So trust me, Gang Related, a very good film with Tupac Shakur, the one, the only, yeah. It's a shame that the cat ain't with us no more. That's a pity that he was taken down. Oh, it happens, unfortunately, but his music, it does live forever, right? And with that positive message, peace out, guys.
Now here's a story about a woman with dreams, so picture perfect at 13 and ebony.
Yo, so that would be all. Thank you very much for your attention, dogs and ladies and gents, and show the channel some love. If you have liked this review, please give it the thumbs up, give it some love. Also subscribe to the channel if you are not a part of this community yet. And we are all looking forward to your opinions, your take on this film, Get Rich or Die Tryin. Whether 50 Cent got rich or he will die trying, in your opinion, about Jim Sheridan and his vast, very big filmography, about the genre of those films taking place in the hood in general, and looking forward to seeing you next time. Remember, respect is everything, so respect your family, respect your homies, respect the hood. RESPECT. Remember, love to you guys, peace out, thanks, stay tight and stay cool. Yeah. So props to Jim Sheridan for having a lot of faith, both in him I've been talking about. Here you have the
Got your head up, even when the road is hard, never give up.